Quick note, I am filming in my basement today to see if it has better sound than the loft. It might not, and this might suck. Hello, and welcome back to the Cozy Corvid. I promise this channel isn't just going to be me talking about my Tourette's all the time, but this is something I wanted to clear up early on to minimize confusion, and because it can definitely be funny, and I will definitely be capitalizing on that. And I want to make sure you guys feel comfortable laughing at me and don't feel guilty about it, provided it's in a nice way. And yes, I am actually assuming that people will see it this time because my first video got 150 views and I now have 17 subscribers, which my boyfriend tells me is pretty impressive for a first video. I know those numbers don't sound big, but when you actually picture 17 people who have decided that they would like to continue watching and listening to me, that's kind of cool. Anyway, this is my beginner's guide to laughing at Tourette's syndrome. Hopefully I can figure out how to make like a little title card or something. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see. We'll see when I edit. The most important piece of advice I can give you is that everyone is going to be different. One person with Tourette's cannot make a perfect guide to responding to everyone with the condition. And if you're interacting with a person in real life, you should always ask. Just ask. So this is just my perspective and what I've learned from the community in the last few months over ye old Discord server. Hey guys. For me, the main question is, what are you laughing at? Why is it funny? If you're laughing because the tick is funny, or to relieve tension in a situation that I've just made a little bit awkward, absolutely, go right ahead. That's great, that's fine. If you were laughing at me for having Tourette's, or for making a situation harder for myself, or to make fun of me in general, that's not really cool. The second big thing is the consequences of the tick. If I have just ticked something obscene or offensive, and I may be facing repercussions or even be in danger, that's not the time to laugh, because that's a very scary and very real part of this of this condition. If you're about to compare me to the Joker or to Tiki Toby from the creepypasta or whatever, just don't. That's not nice. The exception to this is if I hand you a Tourette's Association card explaining myself and you say, oh, it's like in Joker. I'm fine with that. It is like that, and that part of the comparison is not hurtful. My friends also suggested I print cards which just say, we live in a society, and that made me laugh. So generally the card thing is free reign. I do need to print some of those eventually. Okay, now on to big don'ts. Do not do these things. It's not nice. Number one, don't trigger my tics. I know some people are okay with this, but most of us are not, because depending on the tick and the action performed, it can be uncomfortable or even painful. Like I'm gonna do it now. Bonk bonk. Yes, the bonk tick. That one hurts. I'd prefer if you not trigger that one on purpose, even though I know it's a little bit funny. It happens accidentally, especially with echolalia or echopraxia, but if you're trying to make me tick to make yourself laugh, that's dehumanizing and really rude. When I had really bad panic attacks all the time, nobody would try to overstimulate me so that I would have a panic attack and they could laugh at the way I hyperventilated, because they knew that was wrong. But somehow, because Tourette's can be funny, it just apparently is way less obvious and people feel entitled to take advantage of it to make themselves laugh, which is rude and also can be hurtful, both physically and emotionally. My phone died. Excuse me if the angle just changed. Where was I? And the other big don't ever try and convince a stranger that I mean what I am saying. This is embarrassing at the very least and dangerous at the very most. My tics are not what I'm secretly thinking. They're not what I believe deep down. They are random, they are intrusive, and they are uncomfortable. And I would appreciate if that was not added to. If I have a winking tic, don't convince someone I'm trying to hit on them. That's uncomfortable. If I say something mean, don't convince someone I'm trying to pick a fight with them. That's dangerous. Help me explain, help me de-escalate, and then afterwards, if I laugh about it, we can laugh together. Basically, all of it boils down to whether or not I can partake in laughing at the joke. Anything dehumanizing or generally mean is off limits. It's definitely a bit complicated, and I understand that, since my Tourette's is somewhat separate from me, but it's also a part of my identity. It isn't me, but it's inseparable from me. Kind of like Dr. Two Brains from Word Girl, if that's a reference anyone gets. I think that about covers it. Hopefully this clears things up a bit and makes it easier to interact with me. I really do promise it's not just going to be me talking about my Tourette's on here. I just wanted to smooth that over before doing anything else so that there's no confusion. I'm going to try and upload weekly, so if that works out, I will see you next week. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.